Hello, everybody. I am yet again Price McKinney. Simply put, and as always, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening. So, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, simply put by Price McKinney, YouTube, simply put podcast with your boy Price McKinney. Like, subscribe, watch a video, leave a comment. All right. So, I had a very, very interesting experience. Uh, Several of them actually while I was fishing. I got a lot of valuable lessons. Okay, so that's what this is going to be about. This is my fishing story. I titled it different, but just for kicks and giggles, this is my fishing story. So what had happened was me and my brothers, a couple of my cousins, um, we went to Michigan to go fishing. Right. So it was my turn. So at the back of the deck, um, there are two captain chairs, I guess you call them, that sit on the back, and you look out on the water. And so the deck mate, one of his assignments is whenever a rod gets a bite, then he hands you the rod and you just reel it in. They call it, I think it's called troll fishing. Um, anyway, it was a blast, absolute blast. So we did a thug thizzle day one, which was Monday. Went back out there day two, which was Tuesday, and that's when it got interesting. So it's my time, right? So the deck mate went up to talk to the captain because they're in constant communication. Because the deck mate can see and pick up on, well, maybe we need to go here, maybe we need to go there. And he's kind of cheerleading for the fish. Come on, fishies, right? So he just happened to go up to talk to the captain, look at the screen. So what he did, now I can't tell, just for the record, they have these floats. So there are five lines going out to the left, five going out to the right. Then there are like two or three right on the side of the boat, and then two on the back of it, and then one dead center. I can't tell based on the floats when there's a bite. Okay, I just can't. I look at it, but I just can't. Not yet. I've not done it enough. So I could hear the rod catch is zzz. So I went to grab the rod, and I had, number one, I had to make sure I grabbed the right one. Number two, I had to make sure I didn't drop it. So I picked it up with a death grip, and then you had to pull it out and then bring it back in. So I did that one right, and I'm reeling. Touch the neighbor, tell him reeling, trying to bring it in, and I don't know how far the thing went out, but as it got closer, fish jumped off the hook. So I'm a little bit perturbed, just a tad bit, a little bit perturbed because I put all of this work in. My freaking arm was hurting. I mean, it was like hurting because I had to anchor the rod down into one of the side of my fat. So my stomach was pinching my belly. And it was, but I had to hold it like that to take some of the pressure off my arm. So I was doing what I could. Yeah, my stomach was pinching my belly. It just is what it is. So anyway, yeah, I need help. I need some serious help. So anyway, I'm kind of pissed, a little bit perturbed because I'm doing all of this work. I've got some pain and a pinch and no fish. So cool. Don't trip as part of it. Patience, right? So I say that all the time. Live by it. Try to. So here comes the second one. This time the deck mate is on the deck, and he turns around and hands me the rod. Folks, the fish just took off and went. He went to daggum near a whole nother, looked like state, just gone. He went so far out. He pulled so much slack in the line that the deck mate had to literally take the line and pull it in as I'm reeling in. Pull the line as I'm reeling in just to create a little bit of tension because there was so much slack in the ride. He said, he looked at it, he said, man, he took half of the daggum line, literally. So I'm okay, round two. Man up, here we go. I'm reeling and reeling and reeling, reeling and reeling and reeling. He's telling me, slow it down, because I was reeling too fast. And in me reeling too fast, I wasn't gaining any tension in the fish line, right? So he said, slow it down so you and it worked. So I had to do what he told me because he's not new to this, he's true to this, right? So even though I'm an expert here and I know what I know, there I'm at somebody else's mercy. And I'm cool with that. So I was doing what he was telling me to do, slow down your reeling. And I did that. Then he, at one point he told me to raise the rod up a little bit. I did that. And finally, as my cousin in WWE used to say, finally, I started feeling the tension, and he could actually see the fish, right? He turned around and he said, man, it's a tank. You got a tank. And he said, I can see it. He said, just keep reeling, just keep reeling, just keep reeling. You're almost there, buddy. You're almost there. So in the middle of almost there, my arm ain't got a whole lot left because this is round two, right? Both of these were back to back. So you're talking 10, 15 minutes of reeling, just and my arm is just screaming, right? Now, so he says again, man, you got a tank. Just keep willing. You doing good, buddy. You're doing good. So my cousins and my brothers, then they started, cheering me on. Come on, Price, you got this. Come on, Simply Put, you got this. This is Simply Put. So they're gassing me up, and their gas is giving me gas. So, okay, I got it, folks. The fish got probably 5 to 6 feet out from the boat. The deck mate turns around and he grabs the net. He says, "You almost got it." So he anchors, positions his feet to drop the net down, scoop the fish up. He said, "You almost got it. Keep reeling, keep reeling, keep reeling." And then he said, "Ah!" The fish jumped off. He said, that was the biggest catch of the day. He said that one was about 3 to 4 feet. He said that was the biggest one. You had a tank. And then he looked at me and he said, you didn't do anything wrong. You did what I told you. There was nothing else you could have done differently. You did everything right. Sometimes the fish just jumps off the hook. And I was sitting there thinking and thinking and thinking, and it pissed me off so bad at that point because number one, I had the biggest fish. Number two, I done put in all of this work to come up with nothing. So instinctively, I was getting ready to stand up, turn around, next man up because I was pissed. And then I said, you know what? I need to get something out of this. So I stayed. The next fish that came handed me the rod, and because I had been so accustomed to reeling and reeling and reeling, reeling and reeling, this one wasn't that far out, neither was it as big. So I'm using the same force, using the same tension as I did with the big ones, but it was a small fish. So by the time he got close, because of how I was reeling, I yanked it up out of the water and wound up, it didn't hurt him, but it hooked his hand. And he said, hang on, don't stop reeling. And he took the hook out of his hand, and then there was the fish. So at that point, I just wanted some kind of redemption, right? What does this got to do with the price of tea in China? You can do everything right in your relationship. You can have the right line. You can have the right bait on the hook. You can have the right depth in the water. You can have the right distance that you need to be. You can reel at the speed you need to bring them in on. You might have started out too fast. You slowed it down. You got your tension, and you're bringing your catch in slow. Just because you didn't get a bite does not mean stop fishing, meaning don't stop trying. At some point, that bite is going to turn into a catch. It might not be exactly what you want or even how you want it, but it's a catch. And you got to go with that. Now, I'm not saying do not get it twisted. I'm not saying just go for anything. But you put in all of this work, you put in all of this time, you put in all of this effort. We had to pay for it. We had to each pay for our part. For the boat itself, had to pay for the motel. I put in the work, and as he said, you didn't do anything wrong. This is just fishing. So just because, and hear me clearly, that person jumps off the hook does not mean that there's something wrong with you. It does not mean that you did a whole lot of everything wrong. It just means they jumped off the hook. It doesn't mean for you to get out of the dating game. It doesn't mean to get out of your relationship. It just means sit down and keep on fishing. A bite might not turn into a catch, but at some point it will. Your almost will turn into and it did at some point. But folks, you've got to have patience. And you know who needs patience more than your person? That'd be I. You need patience for yourself. I know it might piss you off. I know you might be perturbed. I know you might be madder than a wet hen. However, don't stop fishing. Because you know what happened at the end? As we're closing up, as my turn again on the right side of the boat, and the guys had, because they had, I forget, I don't even know how many lines they had out, but he's reeling them in, so because we're closing up for the day, and he handed me one to reel in, and guess what? Accidentally, there was a catch on the last of the last bite, on the last rod, on the last hook. So I brought in another one. Was it the size of the two that I missed? Nope. It was actually a little bit smaller than the one. But I accidentally got that one. He handed me the rod to reel in. I'm thinking I'm done for the day. And yet we got another catch. So again, at some point, your almost will turn into and it did. And it's fish too. They filleted him. They cut him up. We brought him home. He's in somebody's bag. If not, he's already on somebody's stove. All right. So again, just keep fishing. Don't give up on yourself. Don't think that your work is in vain. Just keep fishing. Again, I'm Price McKinney. Simply put, I'm not an expert. I just know what I know, and I promise you, I'll see you soon.